Hi students, welcome back to my class. In this class, I am going to explain about decision making statement in C. In this video, I am going to explain what is a if statement, if else if, nested if, and switch statements. So after that, looping statements. Okay, so in this video, I am going to explain if else if, nested if, and all the conditional statements. So before going to discuss about decision making statement in C, first I would like to discuss about general programming method. Generally, a programming can be classified into two primary types based on the flow of execution. So one is what sequential programming and control statement programming. Okay, so there are two types of primary methods that decide the flow of execution. First one is what? Sequential programming. Second one is what? Control statement programming. So let me discuss what is meant by sequential programming, right? In sequential programming, all statements within a program are executed in the order how they appear one after another. For example, so I am writing a program of 10 instructions. I am writing 10 instructions like this, right? So instruction 1, instruction 2, 3, 4 up to 10 I wrote. So all the instructions are executed by line or one after another without skipping any statement. Every statement is executed. So that is nothing but sequential programming method. If a program contains 10 statements, each one will run in its designated sequence without any instruction being skipped. Next, what are the disadvantages of sequential programming method? So this approach has two main limitations. Inability to skip statements. Every single statement in the program must be executed, and there is no mechanism to bypass or skip a statement based on specific conditions. For example, I wrote in instructions are getting me on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So based on the condition, so if the condition is true or false, so I don't want to execute 3 and 4th instruction. I would like to skip these instructions. Only I would like to execute 1, 2, and 5, etc. up to 10. But it is not possible to skip. Okay, na? The statements in the program, there is no mechanism to bypass or skip statement based on specific condition. Second disadvantage is what? Inefficient repetition. Okay, it's not possible to repeat the execution of a block of code multiple times without rewriting the code, which is highly inefficient. For example, so a block of, I'm assuming this is a block of code which consists of some information. So a program is there, a subprogram is there. So I would like to use the same program again throughout again in the program somewhere else, right? So it is not possible to repeat this program somewhere else. So hence I need to rewrite the same code again. So again, multiple times I need to write the same code in multiple times wherever needed in the program. But I cannot write I cannot repeat the instruction. So wherever I need throughout the program. So I'm reading a program, and if I want to use the same program again, so I have to rewrite the program again, but not possible to repeat the program anywhere else in the program where I need. So next, there is a disadvantage of a sequential programming method. I cannot skip the instructions, and I cannot repeat a block of code. If I want to use the block of code again, I have to rewrite the code again. That is a disadvantage. Next, control statements programming. Okay, na? To overcome the limitations of sequential programming, developers use control statements. So these statements are essential for altering the default linear flow of programming execution that we'll see. So by using control statements, you can direct the program's control flow one part of the code to another. So I can skip the instructions, I can repeat the instruction with the help of control statement. What are the two disadvantages are there in the sequential programming that can be overcome by the control statements? So there are four types of control statements: conditional or decision making statements, selection statements, looping statements or iterative statements, jumping or unconditional statements. So these four types of by using these four type of control statements, I can skip the instruction based on the condition, and I can execute whatever the instruction I need, and I do not execute the instructions, so I can skip, and I can use the same code anywhere else in the program without rewriting. That is possible with that type of these four types of control statements. First, you'll see again conditional or decision making statements are divided into four categories. So, conditional or decision making statement. These statements allow the program to make decisions and execute specific block of code only if a certain condition is true. Okay. For example, there are four types of, if the condition is true, the true body of the program is going to be executed. Okay. Now, so remaining instructions I can skip. Examples of conditional or decision making statements are if condition, if else condition, else if ladder, and nested if else. So these are the four conditional or decision making statements. So I'll make a separate video for each and every conditional statements. So next, second type of the statements are so selection statements. So selection statements provide a more structured and readable way to handle multiple possible outcomes based on single variable's value. For example, the switch statement. Yes, the switch statement. So switch statement is used to select a particular case among multiple cases. I can select only a single case. Okay, now that is nothing but selection. Okay, now for example, so there is a switchboard, right? There is a switchboard is there. Assume there are 10 switches are there, right? Assume there are 10 switches switchboard. Okay, now for example, it is a fan. Okay, now it is a TV, it is a cooler, something. So among 10 available switches, so I can press a particular switch whatever I want. Okay, now so that's why, so I am selecting the particular switch among the remaining switches. So that is nothing but selection statements. Third one is looping or iterative statements. So looping statements are used to execute a block of code repeatedly until a specific condition is no longer true. Looping statements are used to execute a block of code repeatedly until the condition is true. If the condition is fail, so that control comes out of the loop. This is crucial for tasks that require repetition. For loop, while loop, and do while loop. So we'll discuss separate video for this. These are examples of this. Next, jumping or conditional statements. Jumping statements transfer the program's control to a different part of the code unconditionally. Break, continue, exit. So for this, there is no, I'm not going to mention a condition. Okay, na? So automatically wherever I am writing a break, continue, exit, and go to, so automatically, so it changes the execution of the program. Control changes from one part of the code into another part of the code without any condition. That's why, so jumping statements transfer the program's control to different part of the code unconditionally. So no need to mention the condition here. So this is a four we discuss. So these are the four control statements. Okay, so what are the four control statements? So types of control statements: conditional or decision statements, selection statements, looping statements, jumping or unconditional statements. So I have given a basic definition. So then when I'm coming to the each part, I'll explain in a separate video. So in this video, I would like to continue first part of the control statements, condition or decision making statements. Okay, na? So in this, so conditional or decision making statements, these statements allow the program to make decisions and execute specific blocks of code only if a certain condition is met. If else, and else if ladder, okay, and nested if. Okay, so guys, today in this video I am going to explain about if statement. Next video, if else, like that I'll make separate video for each and every statement. So let me check about simple if. So a simple if statement is used when there is only one condition to evaluate. Only one condition to evaluate, I'm going to use simple if. If the syntax if and the condition I'm writing here, and if the condition is true, so its following statement block is going to be executed. If the condition is false, okay, now so it won't go into the loop, and so out of the loop, what are the statements X is there that can be executed. If the condition is true, so it enters into the body of the if condition and execute the statement block X, so statement block. If the condition is false, it doesn't go into the loop, and directly after the loop whatever the statements are there that can be executed. So then next I'm going to explain the operation, how the if condition exactly works. If the condition is true, the statement block inside the if will be executed, followed by the execution of statements. If the condition is false, the statement block will be skipped and only statement X will be executed. Okay, if the condition is true, true body will be executed, followed by the statement X. If the condition is false, only out of the loop statement X that can be executed. So next, I'm going to talk about if condition. So what is if condition? So the condition generally involves relational operators greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and double equal to or not equal to. Okay. So and the condition, I may use relational operators as well as logical operators. So this is the logical and logical or and logical not. Okay. No? So for example, I am writing here if condition, if a is greater than 10. For example, I'm writing a I initialize as 20, integer 20. Okay. No? So these are the relational operators I'm going to use, and somewhere I'm going to use logical operators also. So let me discuss this in the program. And curly braces, right? If the true body inside the if contains only one statement, curly braces are optional. If it contains more than one statement, curly braces are mandatory. So let me discuss through a program. So this is a flowchart of if statement. If the condition is true, this condition is mentioned in the diamond box. If the condition is true, so true body will be executed. After that, statement remain out of the loop instructions are going to be executed. If the statement is false, so it doesn't enter into the loop directly. It executed the outside the loop instructions. This is a flowchart of if statement. Let me uh, explain this with the help of a program. So hash include stdio.h, so main function. So here to here I'm writing my source code. Okay, so I'm initializing a number. So I'm initializing a number as integer. I'm initializing a number of integer which stores, okay, now the value 5 in it. It is integer, no, it allocates 2 bytes of memory for the integers. So number is not how much, number is 5, right? So this is a in the condition I may use relational operators or logical operators, but I'm here I'm using that relational operators. So what is the number? Number is 5. What is the number? Number is 5. Okay, now number I stored 5 now. So it is an integer. Okay, now so number, if the number is greater than, so number is 5 now, 5 is greater than 10, the condition is false. The condition is for 5 is not greater than 10, the condition is false. So it doesn't enter into the loop. It doesn't enter into the loop, and it goes to here, and after the loop whatever the program is instructions are there, the instructions are going to be executed. So this is about the if statement. For example, if number I am declaring as int number equal to 15, I am writing, the number stores 15 like this. So here 15 is greater than 10, true. So this it enters into the loop of this, and this will be executed. After this, so this statements will be executed. So statement block, and after the statement, after the loop, this also will be executed. This is nothing but a simple if program. So let me explain through an example. Okay, now so this is a program I wrote. Same program I'm writing here. Hash include str.h into main. So number I'm assigning 5 as number is a variable which I declare as an integer, and 5 is assigned to that. If 5 is greater than 10, so it is true, no, 5 is greater than true, then it is entering into the body of this will be printed on the output. Okay, now let me check this. So I got the number is positive because this statement is into number equal to 5. 5 is greater than 10, sorry, 5 is greater than 0, so it is true, no, it is entering into the body of this if loop, and what are the statements are that can be executed. So this same output I got. For example, so let me check now this. Let me check. So I'm assigning, okay, assigning, okay, now so -5, for example, I'm assigning -5. Okay, right? So minus 5, so I'm good, I'm save again, a change, I have to save it, and again I have to compile it, and again I have to run it. Okay now, so what is the statement I'm getting here? Look at here. So nothing I'm getting as my output, because so minus 5 is, so assign number equal to minus 5. So here minus, so sorry, here minus 5 is greater than 0, it is false. So hence minus 5 is greater than 0, false, it is not entering into the loop, and generally it, there is no output printed here. Okay na? Only if the condition is true, true body will be executed. If the condition is false, if any extern out of the loop anything is provided, that will be printed, or right, so we won't get any output. Output may be blank space. If the condition is false, you may get output as a blank space, or any instruction out of the loop that are going to be executed. Okay, thank you very much, thanks for watching.